8th of December, Rabbi Levitt, Pele Yoetz.
Hey. Baruch Hashem. Thanks to Lou, we are back again. Baruch Hashem. Oh, and somebody is calling. Oh, Rebbe Yechiel. Wondering, just a minute. Good morning, good morning. Yes, Shalom, how are you, Rebbe Yechiel? The thing is that Lou is hosting the meeting today. So you have to go to Lou's meeting. Is your wife there? Okay. Okay. Oh, Lou?
Yes?
Yechiel Bortz is just called, so I'm gonna be speaking to his wife about getting into the meeting. Does she have? She should have the. I'll ask her if she has the ability to get in there.
I sent her an email and I explained to her that it's always the same.
Okay. Okay. So she just has to refer to that email.
That's right.
Okay. Yes. Hello, Rebbe Yechiel. Yeah, it's just Lou says that you should have the email that he sent, and that it'll gives you the information how to get into the meeting.
Here he comes.
Oh, wonderful. Baruch Hashem. Okay, very good. So you're in.
He's in.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Baruch Hashem. Okay, we are in Girsa. On page 153. And yesterday we did the Gemara, the two Gemaras that are quoted over here, Shabbos and Eruvin. And we also saw the Mishnah Berurah yesterday that speaks about this same subject. So now we could go to the bottom paragraph, which is the last two lines of page 153. So
this is the rule for a man who learns Torah for his own sake. All this,
what's that?
I'm reading from the last two lines. This is the rule for a man who learns Torah for his own sake.
Yes, that's right.
Isn't it?
Okay. Okay, Lou, would you like to start off for us?
Okay. This is the rule for a man who learns Torah for its own sake. All his learning, even that which he learns in depth and analysis, should be done with verbalization of the text, because great is the virtue of the voice of Torah. As the letters fly up to heaven, and it all ascends and builds the upper realms in heaven. A person who sits alone and studies in silence loses much good, as we will write in the entry Cole. If, when he is learning, he comes across what appears to be an error, he should not rush to edit and change the text. Many times, it is the person who is misguided and thinks he has found an error, but in truth, he is the one who is mistaken. We have heard of a curse of holy rabbis that the hand which excessively edits the holy books will be cut off. May we be spared. After extensive analysis, if it appears clear to him that there is a mistake, only then does he perform the mitzvah to remove this stumbling block. He should write in the margin text, it appears that it should say the following: this is the straight path, the one which brings glory to its maker and earns him the esteem of his fellow men. See Avot 2:1.
Okay, very, very good. So he's very practical over here. So he says this is the rule for a person who learns Torah lishma. It's called lishma, for its own sake. What does learning Torah lishma for its own sake refer to? What does that mean? Then he goes on and discusses making sure that you speak out with your mouth and verbalize what it is that you're learning. That it's important to. He says it's very important in a Kabbalistic sense, it seems, and in many cases, it helps the person to focus on his learning in the same way that when someone davens, we say that he when he davens, the halacha is that he should be able to hear the words that he is saying in the tefillah, and when he benches, he should bench also with a voice. It's ma'ora the kavana. It enhances his focus and his involvement in the mitzvah. And when it comes to Torah, it increases his focus and his ability to understand what's being said, just in a very practical way, in a very practical sense, without what he says over here about the letters flying up to heaven and all that. But just it's really what he's saying here. It's based upon another Gemara in Eruvin that says that this is the way to learn with a call to enunciate a roisreden, speak out, so that one can hear that you could hear what you're saying. Okay. Right. Learning Torah lishma. Learning Torah lishma. What does it mean to learn Torah lishma? He didn't really discuss this so much. What exactly does it mean? But I guess he's someone who learns Torah lishma. This is part of what he should, part of the things that he should do. He should learn with a kol. That's one thing. Okay, and then this is right. Sometimes we learn something and we think there must be a mistake in the word. So, right. So he says, just make sure that it in fact is a mistake, and you're not mistaken, because you may not be 100% understanding what the author is trying to say. Fine. And that's the story. Okay. This is the straight path, the one that brings glory to its maker. That's what it really means to learn Torah Lishma. This is why I'm learning. I'm learning in order to bring Kvod Shemaim into the world, like I do every mitzvah. Is for this reason, to bring Kvod Shemaim. It should be a Kvod for Hashem. If there's a person who's observing his mitzvahs, and Torah is a very important mitzvah. And okay. So, a round of applause for page 153. Yashikoya.
Okay. I thought rote learning was going to be about just learning things off by heart, and just without acceptance, just learning them off by heart and being able to speak them out at any time, without really just analyzing them. I thought he was going to talk about that.
Girsa is not. That's not the real translation of what Girsa is. Girsa is that you understand what it is that's being said.
Oh, so quite
This
the opposite.
is what is being said. You know what?
It's quite the opposite to rote learning.
Yeah, I don't know what is rote.
Rote
To
is just
do
learning off
something
by
by
heart.
rote means without any not a good thing.
Yeah,
Doesn't have a
the
good
kids do when
connotation.
they learn Mishnayos. They just learn to say them. They don't understand what it's about.
Okay, well, in a certain sense, that is really what that's a close translation of what it is that we're doing. In other words, we don't really understand the what it is that we're saying, but we know what it is that we're saying. We know let's say for example like this. Let's give an example of what it would mean to learn this. In other words, there's steps. We're saying there's steps to learning, and the first step in learning is girsa. Girsa meaning to have the words, to have the words, and have just a very, very even the words themselves, one could say, is girsa. I have the words. These are the words. What did Rebbe Yehuda say? Rebbe Yehuda said that when you put the strands of the tzitzis inside the hole of your beged, it has to be what's called le'orech haknaf. Oh, that's the words. I got the girsa. Oh, but what does it mean, le'orech haknaf? I don't know. That's the next step. But I know that that's the words that Rebbe Yehuda said when you do the tzitzis, when you put it in the hole. That's what he said that you got to do. It's got to be le'orech haknaf. And even if I'll know what that means in Hebrew, but still I don't really know what it means. That's called girsa. That's my first step in learning. I have to know what the words are.
Okay.
Now, the second step is to understand, obviously, what exactly is that referring to when he says that? What is that referring to? And then a further step from that is, where does he get it from? How does he know that that's the case? It's based upon a pasuk. It's based upon a svora. What's the svora? Right. That's further on. But the point is not to put the cart before the horse. If I'm going to jump to trying to figure out why he's saying what he's saying, and I don't put in stone the first thing of what it is that he's saying, it's not gonna be good. It's not the proper way to learn. That's what he's talking about here.
Uh-huh. Thanks.
Because there is a right. And also part of what we saw here, what it said in the Gemara over here. Forgot who it was that said it, but he said he learned through all of Shas when he was 18, but now he's, what does that mean? He learned what it says. Maybe he learned the simple understanding of what it means. Maybe, but now he has the whole picture. He's got the whole picture together. And when he has the whole picture together, now he can go and proceed to look into any one of the individual parts and analyze further. And now he's got the background with which to analyze any part therein. But if he doesn't have the whole picture, he doesn't have the whole picture. So to analyze a specific part may be which is of course part of it, the whole picture is not going to work as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a lot of times when we don't really do this when we learn Gemara, but really an application of this, I believe, is the way that's the way we used to do when I was in Kollel. Let's say every day there's an assignment. What's the assignment? Let's say the assignment is to learn one side of a page of Gemara. That's called from this place to this place. So that's the area that we're going to focus on this afternoon, tonight, and the next morning. And so the first thing we do when we sit down to this page is we just read all the words. We read all the words and we see, and even if we don't understand all the words, but we got a certain picture of what it is. We know a certain picture, what the subject matter of the page is, and then we go and read the whole thing again, the whole 100 words again. But as opposed to doing what? As opposed to looking at the first 10 words and starting to analyze, why does it say that? What's it saying? Everything. What's the source for that? 1 second. Let's see the whole picture first. We got to see the whole. That's the reason why in the Gemara you have 2 dots. Here, there's 2 dots over there, 2 dots over there. So you have a section. So this afternoon we're going to learn from these 2 dots to those 2 dots. That's a section. It's like a self-contained piece of Gemara, and you're going to learn that this afternoon. And what does learning it this afternoon mean? You're going to read over it once, then you're going to read it another time, and then you're going to read it with Rashi, and then you're going to read it with Tosfos. So it's a gradual process, but it starts with Girsa. it starts with Girsa, with seeing all the words. What are the words? And then getting a very simple understanding of what the words are, and then going further in depth and further in depth. But first, the foundation, to build the foundation to the building is to get all the is to build the foundation on the whole area where the building, the 50-story building, is going to be constructed. You got to have a foundation of the whole area, and the foundation of the whole area means that you have to do girsa on the entire the section. So whether that entire okay, that's a. And why don't we do that? Because we have other ways of doing it.
Okay.
We try to do that, right? Even if we go line by line, what is the first thing that we do? We try to understand what the words are. What is it talking about? What do the words mean? Right? And after we know exactly what the words are and what they're saying, then we say, oh, well, what's the source for that? Oh, why is that? Oh, what's the reason over here? Oh, this seems to be inconsistent with what we said before. Oh, so but only we don't go there before we know exactly what the sentence is that we're reading. So we go in steps. Okay. Very good. Now we go to Ga'ara, rebuke. Page 154, and Roy, would you like to continue?
Rebuke is necessary when reprimanding wrongdoers who he feels will respond appropriately. However, it is better to speak softly. Quote, for soft speech will break a bone, unquote. Mishlei, 25:15. Whereas rebuke will cause anger in the one rebuking, and controversy and argumentativeness from the one who's being rebuked. Not every man is willing to accept admonishment. More than ever today, even small children are not very receptive to the rebuke of their father and mother. Therefore, it is the correct way that one giving reproach should choose. He should speak softly. His words should be sweet and smoother than oil. He should not speak harshly. Rather, his mouth should be full of sweetness, especially if it is in front of others. A person should not admonish his friend in the presence of many people, because he will publicly humiliate him and cause him to blanch. About such a person, our sages in Levitt 3:11 said that he has no portion in the world to come. Therefore, a person must be very cautious in this matter, especially in the shul, due to the added requirement of honor and fear associated with the holy place. Even if he sees his friend making a golden calf, heaven forbid, he should not raise a powerful voice to rebuke him, for he will damage his soul. This is similar to someone who washes his clothes in the sun. The clothes become white and he becomes black. This is the hint of the ashes of the burnt heifer, to which purify those who are defiled and defiles those who are pure. So too, this person seeks to rectify his friend, yet his friend becomes ruined. Our sages in Arachim 15b explain that the verse in Vayikra 19:17, you will surely reprove your friend and not bear upon him sin, is that the condition for proper fulfillment of the mitzvah of reproof is not to embarrass his friend, and then he will bear no sin. Therefore, if he wants to separate his friend from sin, he must go to him and speak his words with pleasantness, or wait until he finds a private moment and admonish him directly based on his personality and the situation. It is always proper to speak in a low voice and with soft speech, for this is indicative of humility and submission, as it is written in Yeshayahu 29:4, when you are lowered down from the earth, speak. When you are downtrodden, from the dust will be your words. The voice of fools in rebuke is vain, the act of illusion to those who hear from them. See Yirmiyahu 10:15. It causes them confusion and perplexity. The words of the sages, however, which are heard in pleasantness, are sweet and well received by those who hear them.
Okay, very good. So that's the, I don't know if you catch the in the translation, a little bit is lost. Ga'ara, translating as rebuke, which would appear to be like very strong and strong words, very strong words, and maybe with a not in a soft tone. Ga'ara. But because he says after that, he says it's better really. Ga'ara is appropriate when the person will respond appropriately, and it'll have an effect on him. But then he says it's really, the truth is it's better not to do that. It's better not to do ga'ara. It's better to speak softly. So we can imply from there that ga'ara is
right.
not speaking so softly.
Sorry, excuse me, I have to go now, Rabbi, as I told you before. Thank you.
Okay, very good.
Have a good day, Roy.
Lacha Rabbah. Okay. Right, and then he goes on to say, moreover, it's right, it's not so common that not in most overwhelming majority of cases, it's not going to be the best thing to do. So that's, as we all know. So therefore, especially when the same point could be made with soft words and a sweet tone and et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, so we did that. So a round of applause for page 154. Hooray, hooray. And not only that, not only did we finish 154, but we finished Ga'ara. And not only did we finish Ga'ara, but we also finished the letter Gimel. So we're two more rounds of applause for finishing Ga'ara and the letter Gimel. Wow,
very good.
That is tremendous. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so now we want to call on Meir to start this next letter, the Os, Daled. Wow, Dveikus.
Okay, so it's Dveikut, which is translated clinging to God.
Thought that was the name of a tape.
Okay. Clinging to God is one of the 613 mitzvot. A person should constantly cling to God with great passion as to burning embers of love. There is no greater virtue than this because everything is contained within it. As important as it is, so too is the difficulty of achieving it. The degree of success is determined by the deeds of a man and the extent of his daily efforts in the areas of thought, speech, and action. A man who sanctifies himself in this world is sanctified from above, from Yoma. The heavenly spirit will be poured upon him that will purify and sanctify him. Every man is obligated according to his ability to strive with all his faculties to fulfill the mitzvah each and every moment that he can. It is a good idea that it should be written in the place where one normally sits, and that it serves as a sign between his eyes. One who strives to purify himself is assisted by heaven. That's from Shabbat.
Volatire Messiah also.
So is this, I've heard the concept of 6 constant mitzvot. Is this one of them?
Actually, right, you're right. He says here this is one of the Taryag mitzvahs, but I don't think that. Maybe it is. Let me see. You know what? I just happen to have right in front of me a Mishnah Brura Chelik Aleph.
Oh,
And if anybody else wants to take a look, this is the on the very first page
oh, really?
that the Ber Halacha brings
Shaviti Hashem.
famous words of the Sefer Chinuch. This is the Mishnah Brura. It's actually the Ber Halacha, the Dibur Maskil Hu Klal Gadol BaTorah. Rote L'Kayem Shivisi, the person who wants to fulfill these words of David Amelech Shivisi, Hashem Lenegdi Samid. I have always placed Hashem before me. Karu'ui, in the appropriate way, is Darez L'Kayem Mashenechto B'Shem Sefer HaChinuch. He should do what it says in the Sefer HaChinuch. And now the Mishnah Berurah says, I'm going to quote it. Mipnei Godel Chavivusam, because of the great cherishing of these words, we're going to quote what he says here, the Sefer HaChinuch. And he tells us, what does he tell us over here? Sheish mitzvahs, kiyuvan tamidi. There are 6 mitzvahs where the obligation of that mitzvah is tamidi. Just like it says, Shivisi Hashem lenegdi samid. Tamid. It's like the korban tamid. And the lighting of the menorah in the Beis HaMikdash was also regarded as a mitzvah of tamid. The Torah calls it tamid, and this was according to the Bach. He says this was one of the reasons why they wanted to prevent the bringing of the lighting of the menorah, because it was a mitzvah that was constantly done in the Beis HaMikdash. It had a specific time, day in and day out, that it was done, and it was therefore called Tamid. So here we're talking about Tamid Mamish. These 6 mitzvahs one could do at all times. What are they? He says, Lo yifsaku me'ala adam afilu rega echad kol yamav. I would understand that means, translate. It should not depart from the person, his involvement in these mitzvahs, even for one moment, all of his days. V'kol zman v'kol rega shiakshov behen. At all times when he thinks about these mitzvahs, kiyem mitzvahs aseh, he is fulfilling a mitzvah aseh, positive commandment from the Torah. Ein kates matan skar hamitzvahs, and there's no limit to the skar for these mitzvahs of Elohim, and these are the 6. So let's just see very quickly what the six are. Number one, lahamin sheyesh Elokah echad ba'olam, to believe that there is a God, one in this world. That's number one. Is that dveikus? Not really. I mean, it's not yet dveikus. Base shelo namin b'shum Elohim sulato. He should not believe in any other force or any other power other than Hashem. That's number two. Also not dveikus. Liyachado. To how do you say it? Liyached Hashem, to make Hashem one, make him one. Well, how do we do that? We say Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. But this is a mitzvah that we could fulfill not only twice a day, in the morning and in the night, but it's all the time. Because what is it? Just here, just going to give one line of what it is that he says. He has a one-line perush of Shema Yisrael, so we can have this in mind the next time we say Shema. V'dati Hashem shehiva es hakol. He brought everything into being, kiritzona, according to his will. V'hu Elokeinu. And that's what it means when it says Hashem, and then it says Elokeinu. That means that he is Elokeinu, a mashgiach b'kol ha'olamos. He's the one who is supervising and guiding and protecting and involved in all of the world. Hu Hashem echad b'li shum shituf, and he, in this endeavor that he has of being in charge of and supervising and watching over and administering what goes on in the world, he has no partner in this matter. He's the only one. Okay, so that's that, and I wouldn't say that that's dveikus either. Daled lehova makum baruch hu, like it says, to love Hashem, v'havtes Hashem Elokecha. Okay. And then he goes, okay, I just can't resist to saying this over. How does a person come to Abbas Hashem? There's the Mishnah Berurah. Hu al yedei haTorah. This is through Torah, through learning Torah. How so? Because that's the way a person comes to know Hashem, and to know Hashem is to love him, as the famous song goes. So that's number 4. Number 5, Lios Yiras Hashem Yisporach Alponov. Yiras Hashem is number 5. And the 6th one, Shalo Nasur Acher Machshavos Alei Varias Inayim, like it says, don't go after the heart and after the eyes. Lo Sasur Acharei Vavchem Acharei Nechem. So that's the 6 that the Sefer Chinuch enumerates, and the Mishnah Berurah has codified. So what does the Pele Yoetz mean? I mean, there is a pasuk that says Uladov Kabo in Sefer Devorim, in one of the parshas over there. It says, cling to Hashem. How does one cling to Hashem? So perhaps, yeah. So okay. So he's regarding this. He seems to be regarding this also as a constant mitzvah. Person should constantly cling to Hashem. So the Dov Kabo would seem to apply at all times. Why not? Why not? It's actually a good question. Why is it not one of the? Why shouldn't there be 7?
It's true.
And in regard to it being a separate mitzvah unto itself, I believe he's 100% right. I believe that the Rambam includes it as a separate mitzvah. In his list of in Sefer Mitzvahs of the 613 mitzvahs that there are, based upon that pasuk, Uladav Kabo, I believe. Okay. All right. Okay, now we're going to go further. Because obviously the question is going to be, how is it that we fulfill this mitzvah? If it is one of the mitzvahs, so what are we supposed to do? We know we got a mitzvah of tefillin. We know what it means to do the mitzvah of tefillin. We know there's a mitzvah of Kriyishma. We say Kriyishma. What's it mean to cling to Hashem? What do we have to do? What do we have to think? What do we have to say? What's it involve? So let's see what we have in the next paragraph. Behold, our sages. Who's there who has not yet read?
I do not yet.
Alan.
Yeah.
Okay. Behold, our sages. Please.
Behold, the sages and behold, the sages at the end of chapter of Sota and 2 verse 111b said on the verse Devarim 11:22, and to cling to him. Is it possible for a person to cling to the divine presence? Not written in Devarim 4:24. For the Lord your God is a consuming fire. Rather, the meaning of the verse is one should emulate Hashem's attributes. Just as he is compassionate, so too you should be compassionate. Just as he is gracious, so too you should be gracious. Every man deludes himself into thinking that he already clings to the divine attributes. All of Israel are people of compassion. The sons are people of compassion. There is none among them who does not treat kindly the unfortunate. However, to truly emulate Hashem's ways, one must be compassionate and treat kindly even his enemy who seeks his downfall. Even if he is a person of bad deeds who stands against him and maligns him, one should not withhold his goodness, mercy, and kindness from him. And even if he uses the self-same good that he bestows upon him to his detriment, he must not withhold his goodness from him. Just as the Holy One, blessed his speed, treats his creations. Holy Rabbi Moshe Cordovaro has written in great depth and length in his work, Talmud Devorah, about the 13 attributes of mercy, how it is proper for every person to conduct himself accordingly. I, the poor one, have copied in a condensed form his words in my work, Iron, page 155. Fortunate is the man who listens to him to read these 13 attributes of mercy at least once a month, and strive with all his strength to act upon them. With the help of the Almighty, he will succeed and be able to emulate him.
Wow. Okay. Very good. So I see it's 11:30, and we will say goodbye to Mayor. Unfortunately, we didn't have a full time today, but at least we had what we had. Baruch Hashem. Thanks to Lou, and so we will say goodbye to Mayor for today, and to Rabbi Yechiel, and we'll be back with Baba Kama, Bez Hashem, at very soon.
Are we staying here or are you going to take over?
Yes, that's the question. It seems to me that the meeting is still going on, and it looks like doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get onto the. It doesn't look like it, but if there's a change, if it looks like I will be able to get on, I'll call you up.
Okay, I'm going to call Phil and tell him that I'm hosting.
Yeah, okay. Very good.
All
Okay,
right,
thank you very much, Lou.
no problem.
Okay, see you soon.